The Capital Beltway around Washington, D.C. has always been notorious among its users for its extremely bad traffic problems. However, this is currently being remedied by the Purple Line project, a new light rail line operated by the MTA or Maryland Transit Authority that will connect metro stations at Bethesda, Silver Spring, College Park, and New Carrollton, as well as other communities that lack rapid transit service, such as Lightonsville and Tacoma Park and Langley Park. However, this is not enough of a project. The Beltway is massive. It connects two states and multiple smaller towns and communities, as well as other metro stations that currently are doing a lot of heavy lifting for some areas of the city. But we can fix this. A new line that I propose, the Beltway line, has been brought up in many older plans. However, no progress has seemed to actually been made on how to build this line. But today, I've mapped out an ideal alignment for the line, and I'm going to share it with you in hopes that maybe someday we can fix the mess that we call the Beltway. Starting from New Carrollton, this station would be elevated above the Orange Line and Northeast Corridor tracks, diagonal to them and serving as a connector between the Orange Line platforms and the Purple Line and Amtrak platforms. Directly after departing New Carrollton Metro Station, the line, still elevated, weaves in between the parking structures for New Carrollton Station above US Route 50 and then runs above Ardwick-Ardmore Road. The line then turns off the road adjacent to the Shiloh Baptist Church and turns south to run along the inner side of the Beltway. The line then descends from its elevated structure, and once it has passed the Cattail Branch, the line will have descended completely to ground level. It comes across its first station, named Glen Arden, situated directly at the intersection of 495 and the Glen Arden Parkway. After Glen Arden Station, the line remains at ground level on the inner side of I-495. It then heads elevated again to cross over the interchange with Landover Road. However, it remains elevated as it curves outwards to exit the Beltway at the Medical Center Drive interchange. It then crosses above parking lots near the Largo Metro Station, where it reaches its second connection point with Metro, the downtown Largo Metro Rail Station. After Largo Metro Station, the line continues elevated, curving very slightly to join back with the Beltway right-of-way, and it descends back to ground level directly after crossing over Central Avenue. However, this time it is instead briefly running on the outer side of I-495. However, once the line reaches a power line right-of-way, the line briefly returns above grade to cross over to the inner side of the Beltway. The line then returns to ground level when it reaches the next station, which is semi-elevated and semi-at grade at Walker Mill Road, near a very promising site for transit-oriented development. The line then continues at grade on the inner side of I-495 briefly before swinging elevated once again to cross over multiple industrial buildings. This elevated section does run near to a suburban housing area, which may cause some problems with NIMBYism. The line then turns to run above Forestville Road, where it reaches the next station at Forestville, located at the intersection of Marlboro Pike and Forestville Road. The line then follows Forestville Road for a bit, where it then deviates from it to make a less sharp turn to join the inner side of I-495, directly after Suitland Parkway. The line then descends back to ground level. The line then reaches the next station, Morningside, located at the intersection of Suitland Road and I-495. The line then rises to elevated once more, curving on its own alignments through the woods between suburbs, where it then curves over the lead tracks into Metro Rail's Branch Avenue Yard, where a new connecting track could be built. Then, crossing over some buildings, it connects with the Green Line at the Branch Avenue station. The line then crosses over some parking lots near the Metro station to briefly follow above Auth Way, where it then deviates from the road near the Nissan and Kia car dealerships to avoid crossing over suburban housing. The line then continues elevated, cutting through forest and weaving between and above industrial buildings before reaching the next station called Marlow Heights at the interchange of Raleigh Road and St. Barnabas Road. The The line then continues elevated above St. Barnabas Road until it reaches its intersection with I-495, where the line curves off from the road and descends into the median of I-495. The line then remains at grade in the median of I-495 until it reaches its next station at Oxon Hill, located at the intersection of I-495 and Indian Head Highway. The line remains in the median of I-495 and uses the reserved transit right-of-way on the Woodrow Wilson Bridge, crossing from Maryland into Virginia. The line then descends underground at the intersection with Patrick Street, where it then curves southwards to intersect with the Yellow Line metro station at Huntington. The line then curves into a power line right-of-way, remaining underground until it pops up to reach Ridgeview Station, an at-grade station located near Devon Street. The line then heads elevated along the power line right-of-way, although deviating from it in locations where the curves of the right-of-way are too tight. The line then reaches the station at Kingstown, located at Kingstown Boulevard and Van Dorn Street. The line then parallels Kingstown Boulevard, which later transitions into Franconia Springfield Parkway as it reaches the Metrorail station at Franconia Springfield at new elevated platforms. The station would be renamed to simply Franconia. The line then continues in the right-of-way of Franconia Springfield Parkway, elevated until it then turns over I-395 and into the right-of-way of Backlick Road, where it reaches an elevated station at Springfield, located at the intersection of Old Keene Mill Road and Backlick Road. The line would then follow Backlick Road elevated to a station called, Backlick Road, at the Backlick Road VRE station. The line would then continue to follow Backlick Road until Beverly Road, where it would begin to descend into an underground tunnel, where it reaches the Annandale Station at the intersection of Annandale Road, Columbia Pike, and Little River Turnpike. The line would continue underground on the longest underground segment of the entire route. It would follow under Annandale Road and Gallows Road before deviating from Gallows Road directly before it crosses 495. It would then turn northwards and stop at a station at Inova, located perpendicular to the Inova Medical Center bus station. The line would then run due north until it rejoins the Gallows Road right-of-way. It would continue under Gallows Road till just north of Arlington Boulevard, where it would emerge from the tunnel and run elevated. Continuing elevated along Gallows Road, it would enter the station at Merrifield, located at the intersection of Route 29 and Gallows Road. Continuing in the right-of-way of Gallows Road, the line would soon reach the Dunn-Loring-Merrifield metro station, which will be renamed to just Dunn-Loring. The line would then continue north to a station at Glenmere, located at the intersection of Gallows Road and Oak Street. After Glenmere, the line follows Gallows Road and Kidwell Drive elevated, until it reaches Leesburg Pike, where the line curves to weave between buildings and stop at Tyson's Corner Center Station, located roughly where Fashion Drive and I-495 would intersect. This station would feature a pedestrian bridge connecting directly to the aforementioned Tyson's Corner Center. The line would then briefly follow Old Meadow Road until it would parallel Scotts Run to the McLean Metrorail station. The line would then run elevated in a straight shot until it reaches the inner side of I-495, which it would then parallel elevated until Lewinsville Road, where it would descend to at grade. The line would then continue following the inside of I-495 until reaching the station at West Langley, located at the intersection of Georgetown Pike and I-495. Note that this intersection will have to be rebuilt significantly for the construction of this station. The line would then cross over to the other side of I-495 around the interchange with the George Washington Memorial Parkway. The line then runs on a newly built span of the American Legion Bridge, located on the outer side of the Beltway. The line then continues along the outer side of the Beltway until the Carderock Springs Station, which is located just west of the interchange of Seven Locks Road and I-495. Assuming the full loop is completed, the line would continue along the outer side of I-495 and later I-270, specifically the western branch of 270. The line would then reach the station at Westlake, which would be partially at grade and partially elevated, and located directly adjacent to the Westfield Montgomery Mall. Now elevated, the line immediately crosses the western ridge of 270 and weaves right past some buildings before joining the inner side of the eastern branch of 270. The line, still elevated, parallels the eastern portion of 270 for a very brief period, before diverging off and heading right between the Grosvenor Park apartment buildings to the Grosvenor Strathmore metro station. The line then continues by curving south and then slightly north, paralleling Rock Creek for a brief period until joining up with the Mark Brunswick Line tracks. The line, remaining elevated, continues along them until the Kensington Station, which would be located directly above the Kensington Mark Station. It would then continue to follow the Mark Brunswick Line right-of-way until curving into the median of I-495, where it descends back to at grade. The line would then stop at the Forest Glen Station, located at the intersection of Georgia Avenue and I-495. A pedestrian bridge would connect this station to the Forest Glen Metro Station. After Forest Glen, the line remains in the I-495 median at grade until it reaches the Hillendale Station, located at the intersection of I-495 and New Hampshire Avenue. It would then rise elevated directly before the massive I-495 and I-95 interchange before heading straight towards Lackawanna Street and running elevated above it until the Edgewood Station, located directly above the current Greenbelt Station. The current Greenbelt Station would be renamed to Edgewood. The line would then rejoin the inner side of I-495 and descend back at grade to the new Greenbelt Station, located just north of the intersection of Greenbelt Road and I-495. The line, still at grade on the inner side of I-495, would continue running there until reaching Lanham Station, located roughly where Powhatan Street would intersect I-495. The line then immediately rises elevated just before the intersection of the Beltway and Annapolis Road, before then weaving between buildings and crossing over Annapolis Road, before finally rejoining with its origin at New Carrollton Metro Station. In my opinion, absolutely. It would open up so many more unique job opportunities, more travel options, and just increase the system ridership by up to tens of thousands of people per day if all the development gets built around the stations. But I don't feel we should be prioritizing this network. You see, Metro's current plans are already quite extensive. Though some would wish they could be bigger, it's still a lot to be working on, and I feel like the second city tunnel as well as upgrading existing infrastructure should be the priority of Metro. Whether or not this line gets built as a full loop or not, it would absolutely be a perfect addition for the Metro rail system. Thanks so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe to the channel because I'm starting to put higher effort into my videos for once. And yeah, 1,000 subscribers is absolutely insane, by the way. Just wanted to thank you guys real quick for this. When I started this channel, I never thought we would get this many people watching this kind of content. And I'm thinking of starting to monetize content or maybe having a Patreon included so I can improve my content quality in the future. Obviously, it's not up. Neither of those things are up yet, but I'm thinking of adding them in the future and potentially, just making the quality of the channel improve over time. So, yeah, make sure to, again, like and subscribe, and it's the Autistic Rail Fan, and I'm signing off.